Hello everyone, welcome to Homeschool Autism Life. My name is Jamie. Today's video, I'm going to chat about our read aloud time. So our read aloud time kind of sits in the middle of our day. So the girls have already done a bunch of their schoolwork. If you've watched the videos that I've made thus far, you know what I'm talking about as far as the kids and what our curriculum picks are. I'm just kind of in that place where I'm just like, what did I say before and what did I not? Because they have a bunch of time in the morning when I'm catching up on sleep, they have a bunch of stuff that they can accomplish, and then we break together to do read aloud time, and then we work together on a bunch of stuff. So it kind of fits like just perfectly in the middle of the day. One of the major things that I've found is I've had to simplify read aloud time. Otherwise, it can get overly long, and it already gets overly long, even though I've simplified it considerably. But I had a bunch of different books that I was kind of doing a cyclical pattern on. This was our Thursday book, Material World. This was Window into the World, an Operation World Prayer Resource, and then I was doing this Hungry Planet one as well, plus an Evidence of the Bible one. And I've realized that every time if I add like 3 books, it just takes way too long, and then everything else kind of suffers because we're like, okay, we have to hurry. So I've kind of simplified it down to just 2 books that I read, and we do a hymn study at the very beginning. So we open up with a hymn. I just have our summer hymn right now, which is "Oh God, Our Help in Ages Past." This hymn we've discussed. I go over, it's kind of like our poetry study as well. I kind of like wrap it up all together in one, but we go over the history of whatever hymn I am talking about. Talk about who the author is, and then we also go verse by verse and figure out which, what each verse means, why is it important, how does that affect our lives, all of those. And then for the rest of that unit that I do, or that month, it kind of depends on how it's going. So of course over Christmas time I'm doing Christmas carols and stuff like that, but yeah, however it works, I usually do for a 4 to 6 week period. We sing that song over and over every morning for the start of our school day. Then we read this one. So this book, we are like almost through. We'll definitely get through the rest of it. And then I have this one. So this is our apologetics time. This is the time where, oh my goodness, the conversations that come out of this book. Just this last week, we had a conversation about how Adam and Eve sin. Why did God say their punishment was good for everybody? And boy, it's not an easy question to answer when they're like, well, that's not fair. Why are we getting, and having those discussions and going, well, it must have been really important to have free will. And oh my goodness. Yeah. So it's definitely a resource that I highly recommend if you're wanting to give your kids a really good foundation so that when they're asked questions when they go out into the world, it's not a shock for them. They've actually thought some of these things through as kids and teenagers, and when it comes up, it's not going to be a shock because we've already talked. Sorry, there's like a fly. There's already been discussions on, this is what the world thinks of our ideas. These are their ideas. What do you think is more, important? And do you think it's important to look at evolution and, but what does God say about it? And what does man's science have to do with the Bible? And can you shoehorn man's science into Bible? Like so many. And I think there's like 4 of these books. I don't know if we're ever going to get through 4, but I felt like, yeah, we're going to get through some of these for sure. And then I usually pick a read aloud that goes with whatever we're studying. So if we're doing Gather Round South America, I will probably assign one of these books to Inara, and I will probably read one of these out loud. So we have these Christian Heroes Then and Now series. So there's Elizabeth Elliot, Jim Elliot. I figure they're married. They were married. They should be together.
Mommy,
And
the grocery store.
Nate Saint. Yes, the grocery store.
Get dressed.
Go get dressed. So those are definitely those things that I've just simplified it way down, because this book generally causes lots of conversation, and I don't want to rush past those conversations to get into some of these other ones. I think these ones I will probably incorporate into my Fun Friday, which is an upcoming video. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed learning about how I've like really pulled back. For me, it's just it became one of those things where I'm like, what is the priorities for me? And that was a big one, was I need to prioritize my children's faith and their foundation of faith. And some of these other books we can have out or talk about them later. So thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. If you're interested in more, feel free to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you get notified when I drop a new video. So thank you so much for this, and have a wonderful day.